What do you do when you're unemployed? No longer have an income coming in? That's the question. That's deep. As of December 2025 in the United States, 7.5 million people are unemployed in the United States. If you're one of that 7.5 million, what do? What's up, y'all? It's the Gambler. And that's what we're walking and talking about today. What do you do when you're unemployed? That rainy day is here. For 7.5 million people, that rainy day is here. What do you do? Let me paint the picture of what my experience was. That has happened to me twice. And it's going to be a different experience. The actual termination experience can be different. Everybody got a unique situation and a unique experience. And it could be different for a white collar worker versus a blue collar worker. White collar, corporate. Blue collar is manufacturing, just blue collar. So the experiences can be different for white collar workers and black collar workers. I'm only going to speak from a white collar worker because that's been the type of work that I've done for the past 28 years. But my personal experiences, that has happened to me twice in the 28 years, actually 3 times in that 28 years. Yeah, it's been 3 times. But I'm only going to reference the last 2 times. The third time, I don't really count that. It was right after 9/11. And, that was a tough time for this country that a lot of people lost their jobs. But that one, the writing was on the wall. I had a close relationship with the CEO. Well, at that time, he was the CIO. His wife was the CEO. I had a close relationship with him and his wife. And so that one I knew was coming. Probably about 3 or 4 months. We had a conversation that it possibly would be coming. But unfortunately, before it came, the market was really bad, the job market, because of 9/11. And so even giving a 4-month heads up, I still couldn't find a job before that termination came. Anyway, short story long. I'm going to stop saying long story short because y'all know about my long story short. So a short story long, I experienced it twice. But I'm only going to speak about this last one. This last one was prior to this job. And I was unemployed for 2 years. It took me 2 years to find a job. So let me paint the picture. If some of you haven't experienced this, some of you have experienced this, so I can paint you the picture of what it could feel like, to help you sort of relate if you've never been without a job or if you have never been suddenly terminated, what it feels like. So I'm gonna paint that picture for you. So I'm gonna tell you about my last one that I had. Well, actually, it wasn't the last one. It was the one before that. I'll give you the one before that. Because even the one that I just lasted that I've been unemployed for the 2 years, even with that one, once again, I had a close relationship with the CEO of the company. And I had got a heads up on that one as well, that, based on some certain contracts coming in, termination may happen down the line. So I had got a heads up on that one. I'm going to tell you the example, or give you the experience of the one where I didn't get the heads up on. Wind and it's cold out here. I go to log in and work like my normal day, happy la-di-da-di-da-di-do. And there's a meeting on my calendar, and on that calendar, it's a meeting with my manager, and it's a meeting with a person from HR. Hmm. Ah. Ah. That don't look good. So I log on to the meeting, and my manager tell me, hey, XYZ, whatever, all of the fluff or whatever. Whatever he said, I probably don't even remember the details or whatever he said. They try to make it sound good or whatever, but long story short, effectively today would be your last day with the company. And if it's a good situation, which mine was in a way, told me what my severance package was and what all I would be getting and how I would get it, and the way I would get my severance and all of that. So I was like, okay. And you did a good job. Wish we didn't have to do this, but going through blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And log off. And effective right after that time you get off that call, all my access cut off. It could happen to you like that. Another example, I had a coworker where this story, try to make a long story short, but in my case, a short story long. Had a coworker. He sits beside me, and I have plum trees and grow plums. And I had brought in him some plums the day before. And just when I was getting ready to sit down, he came over right beside my cube and said, hey, Tony, thank you for that plum. Oh, that plum was the best plum I ever had. That plum was super good. Oh, I want some more. I hate I only got one or two. I said, well, I tell you what, X, and his name is X. So on his clothes who he is. I said, I tell you what, X, I got plenty of them. I'm going to go out there when I get off of work today. I'm going to pick you some, and I'm going to bring you some tomorrow. He said, okay. I said, which one did you like? Did you like the yellow ones or the red ones? I like the yellow one. I like the yellow. I said, okay, I got you. I'm going to bring you some tomorrow. So I put my stuff down and log in to work. And just when I'm logging in to work, right behind my cube, because you got to walk past my cube to get to my coworker cube. Just when I'm logging in, our manager walked past me and walks over to X and said, hey, X, do you have a minute to come to my office for a minute? And X said, yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. So X logs off his computer. Him and the manager walk on away or what have you. I don't see X. Right after that, we got a meeting scheduled, the whole team. Probably right after that, maybe about 30 or 40 minutes later, we go in the conference room, the whole team, and they say, the manager says, well, I want to let y'all know, effectively today, X is no longer with the company. So if you had any work with him, you need to work out how you're going to get that work done and how it's going to be transitioned, and he's no longer being with the company. Now, X, I don't know what happened in that meeting, but when I got out of that meeting, I went back to my cube, and all X stuff was on his desk. His everything, even his glasses, because he had took off his glasses. His glasses was on the desk. Everything was on the desk. His Mountain Dew, because he loved to drink Mountain Dew. He drank like about 4 or 5 Mountain Dews a day. So he had all his Mountain Dews stacked up and everything. Everything X had was there. So apparently they escorted X out with security. That's how his termination went. Now, I shared all those two stories with you so that you can sort of, I don't know, get an experience of what it's like to be all of a sudden terminated when you coming in to work. Mine was sort of soft. X's was very aggressive. So I just told you all that so you can get a feel of it, to know, maybe to relate if you can't relate, if you've never experienced it. So I shared those experiences with you. So what do you do when you're unemployed or when you suddenly get terminated? Well, let's take a precaution. Y'all know I always like to plan for rainy days before a rainy day comes in. So I would tell everybody, one thing you do before you ever get terminated or end up unemployed, be prepared. Always be prepared. And I'm speaking from a white collar perspective. Blue collars, a lot of this will apply for a blue collar as well. But be prepared. Don't have any of your, to get prepared, this is my preparation plan. Okay, preparation plan. To be ready at any minute that if you have to leave your job or you forced to leave your job at the drop of a dime. Do not keep any of your personal information on your computer. Because if you're terminated, 9 out of 10 when you're terminated, they're going to terminate your access right then and there. So if you got all your personal stuff on your work computer, which you should not be doing in the first place, that's like almost common sense. But many people do it. They have their personal stuff, personal information, and personal stuff on their laptops and their work computers. Well, when you're terminated, you instantly lose access. Sometimes you don't even get the chance to log on before your termination. So being proactive in preparation, not saying that it will ever happen. And we're going to claim that it'll never happen to you. If you have never experienced it, we're going to claim right now on this camera that it never happened to you. But we're going to always prepare for a rainy day. When you listen to The Gambler, you going to know that I'm always going to talk about preparing for a rainy day. So one, don't keep any of your personal information or anything that you want to have access to on your computer. Number two, don't take any of your personal stuff at work and keep it on your desk. I know people love they loved ones and they booze and everything and have their pictures and their kids and everything up on the queue. That is not your space. It's the employer space. Treat it like it's the employer space. Don't leave any of your personal stuff at work. Don't take your personal stuff at work. If you want to see your boo and your kids when you at work, put their pictures up. But when you get ready to leave, put their pictures, take them back down and put them in your laptop bag. If you got to have them on your desk, that's how you do it. But don't leave your personal stuff at work, and don't take all your personal stuff at work. Because just like X didn't get the chance to get his stuff. He's going to, well, he had to depend on them sending his stuff in a box. And I hope that they sent him his stuff in a box. They might not. I don't know. I know his stuff was removed the next day off of his desk. But he might not have got his stuff. So don't leave your personal stuff. Don't take any personal stuff to work at work, and don't have personal stuff on your laptop. That's what you can do to prepare for the rainy day in preparations. Another thing to do in preparation is, like I've always told you guys about saving, preparing for rainy days. Do that. Have your savings. Have you money set aside to prepare for a rainy day. If you want to see some of those details or some of the talks that I've given about saving money and sort of preparing for a rainy day, go watch this video. This video will tell you about saving and dealing with debt and keeping your debt down. Or go watch this video. This video also tells you about preparing for rainy days and preparing for retirement, and it covers a lot of good information for preparing for a rainy day. Start putting you some money aside and preparing for a rainy day. One of the things that I do and that me and my wife do and we always keep in place is that when you're saving, keep in place your mortgage payment or your rent payment. Keep you a 6-month reserve. So at least you know that for 6 months you got your mortgage payment or you've got your rent to pay that. And it don't have to be 6 months. It could be longer than that. But do your reserve account. And in that account, you don't touch that account. That is a reserved account. The money that's in there, it is 6 months of your mortgage or your rent payment. And how much ever that is. And you do not touch that for nothing. The only time you touch that is if you need it to pay your mortgage or your rent for some reason that you don't have the money to pay that. In most cases, unemployment would be a pretty good reason that you're going to need to get that money out. So do that. That's one thing to do in preparation. Jumping back to how you cope and deal with you don't have a job. You're one of that 7.5 million people. And it's tough. I'm not going to tell you that it was easy. Them 2 years, even though financially I didn't have a hardship because my wife was a good provider. And I tell you another thing. This is another financial tip, a tidbit that I'm going to give you and share with you. This is a preparation that you can do that I do. Don't live above your means. Live within your means. If you can't take all these vacations and go buy these Gucci purses and all this other stuff, don't do that. Live within your means. And one thing that we do as a family, even though we have 2 incomes, we have our bills and everything is managed off of 1 income. So if you have 2 incomes in your household, or if you have 1 income in your household, a good plan of action is to have your bills and your debt, everything that you have to pay out monthly, that is half. That's a safe point. So if you have 2 incomes in your household and you lose 1 income, guess what? Nothing financially is impacted on you because you've been living off of 1 income. Losing one of the income doesn't hurt you. Now, if you have a situation where it's only 1 income and you've totally lost that 1 income, well, it's still not as bad for you because you've been living off of half of that income. So if you've been listening to the gambler, that other half of income you've been saving. So you got savings account, you got reserve, mortgage and rent payment accounts, So you ready for your rainy day. So that's one tip I give you to prepare for your rainy day. And a financial tip is don't live outside your means, and make better financial decisions to uh, split your income that comes in the household. Try to live off of half of it and then try to save the other half. I know that's huge for a lot of people, but it's doable, and it could help you prepare for a rainy day. Uh, but at the end of the day, you have to do what you can afford and what is feasible for you. So I'm not a financial advisor. Let me make that disclaimer. I'm only speaking to you from my experiences and my experiences that I've had and things that I do that work for me. And I'm just sharing with you those tips. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your financial situation or your money. I don't want you going to say, well, nah, I ain't got no money because the gambler told me that I had to live off half the money. Now I lived off half of the money, and I can't pay this and I can't pay that. I can't do this. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm just giving you some tips and some suggestions of things that I do and that have worked for me. But at the end of the day, you do the things that you're comfortable with financially and that works for you. I'm going to touch on what do you do with the anxiety, the stress, because it's there. Even though I had financial health and we were financially okay, it's not a good place being unemployed. It doesn't feel good. Looking for a job, and the job market was real tough. Normally, I'm an independent contractor, and normally if I have a contract in, it may take me maybe 1 or 2 months and I'm gonna have my next job, a contract. I had never experienced where it was 2 years. The job market was tough, and it's still tough. I don't care what they saying. As of today, it's still tough. I know people who and I'm speaking from white collar jobs. I don't know what's going on with the blue collar jobs, but I know what's going on with the IT jobs. That market is tough. This job that I got now, I was selected out of 1,400 people. 1,400 people. That's how many applications, and I was the one. Now, I had a lot of jobs that I had applied for. The job market was horrible. Recruiters have gotten really grungy. They ghost you like like a bad date or a good date, and you still want to talk to the person and the person don't answer your calls. That's how recruiters were doing. They were ghosting me from here left to right. Or if they did call you back, they shoot you some bull, or good job, good interviews that you just know you should have got that job. You don't get that job. There are some jobs that right now there's over 2,000 applicants on one job. So what do you do when you keep trying to, look for a job, but the doors keep getting closed in your face? It's okay to cry, because it's going to hurt your feelings. We all got feelings. And I'm saying to you, it's okay to cry. I cried sometimes because for me, I felt like I shouldn't have to go through this. And why am I going through this? And where is God? Like, what my job? I shouldn't go to this. And dealing with disappointment and heartbreak. So if you're a human person, you may cry, and that's okay. Because what happens when you cry? Tears come out. They come outside of your body, and or they could be like how when I'm walking in the wind, whooping my eyes and allergies, and I cry. But anyway, bring it back. Crying is a release, just like the tears coming out. It's a release of that tension, of that sadness, or whatever it is. Get it out. Cry if you have to cry. If you have somebody that you need to talk to, just that'll listen, and that's a positive person, don't go talking to no negative person. Because by the time you finish talking to them, you damn sure gonna feel worse than you did before you started talking to them. And you probably gonna be saying, now why did I say such and such to X? Because I should have known. I feel worse than I did before I talked to them. So don't go talk to a negative person. If you have a positive person in your life and you know that they're positive, then share, and they confidential and trustworthy. Then share with them how you feel and get it off your chest. That helps. The Gambler is here for you. If you need to send me a personal email and say, hey, I gotta get this off my chest, and you said on your video that you would be here for right now, I need you to listen to me. I'm gonna send you this email and blah 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 blah. If I get it, I will promise you I will respond to you, and whatever I can, however I can be motivated, I will. So if you ain't got nobody and you need to get it off your chest, email me. I'm your friend. I'm your family member. I love you. So yes, I'm here for you. And I've been there and been through it. So I could help you out. So reach out to me if you need to. Um, so talk to somebody and just hang in there. No matter how many times you get knocked down, get back up. No matter how many interviews you do and you get rejected, keep doing them. No matter how many hours it takes you to look for a job, you keep doing them. No matter how many bricks fall down off the brick building on top of you, move them off and get back up. Dust yourself off and get back up. Keep getting up. Keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't stop until you get the job that you're looking for. Now, it may not be the job you want. The money may be less, or it may be in a whole nother field or industry. Regardless, you keep moving to get back to where you were. And whatever that looks, however that looks, if it looks like taking a job for less money, or if it looks like taking a job in a whole nother industry different from what you do, whatever it takes to get back up, to get back moving, and to get back to the status that you were, you keep doing it until you get to that status of where you were. The weather went crazy really fast, so I wasn't able to get some things that I wanted to make sure that I got into the video. So I'm adding this clip in here. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that I got in here is, what do you do now that you're unemployed? Most states do have unemployment services. So what I do, I can only speak to, give you examples of what I did. Apply for unemployment. That's the first thing. Understand, in most states, I don't know for your states, but in most states, in my state, if you got any type of last paycheck or severance, you can still apply for the unemployment. But in most cases, your unemployment won't start until they do some calculation and say that those funds that you receive are depleted. Whatever that is, I don't know, but they'll tell you how long it would be before your unemployment benefits begin. But in most cases, if you receive money from your employer, your unemployment benefits don't begin immediately. If you didn't receive any, in those cases, the unemployment begins. I think they may have a week or 2 weeks of waiting period. But apply for unemployment is one thing you can do. Don't be prideful. This may be a case in a situation where you may have to ask friends and family for help, for support. And don't be prideful about that. Being unemployment, in most cases, it's nothing you did. It's not your fault. It's just a layoff. Dealing with the economical time or time period and what the company is going through. In most cases, a layoff. For all of my times that I was unemployed, mine was a layoff. Now, understand, for those that actually get terminated for something that they did, well, you ain't getting no unemployment. I mean, you can apply, but they ain't getting unemployment, because if they say that you did something and they let you go because you did something, okay, I don't know what to tell you on that situation. This is mainly for people who was doing their job, doing a great job, and the company had financial decision that they had to make and let the person go. So I'm only speaking from layoffs. Those were my experiences of being laid off. So apply for unemployment. Don't be prideful. Ask your family and friends for help. Do some Google searches in your area to see if there are some programs out there that can help with your situation. There are a lot of programs and organizations that may help. Don't be prideful to apply for food stamps. Put pride aside. You keep hearing me say don't be prideful. This situation that you may be in, um, it ain't time. It's no room. It's not time for pride. You gotta take pride and throw it out the window. I want to say another word. Y'all know I try not to cuss. But throw pride out the window. It's not a time for pride. It's a time for confidence. It's a time for being eager to get your life back on the right track. It's that time. So what are some other things that you can do? Uh Trying to think of things that I did. Find small gigs that could help bring in money if you're in a financial need for money during this time. They have Spark that's out there. The drive for Uber, Lyft, all of those types of jobs may be quick for you to get and to get some quick money. If you're gonna do Spark, go ahead and apply for Spark real quick, because they in most cases have a waiting list. So it may be a waiting list on your area. But those are some things that you can do to get funds coming in a lot faster. Pick up a little side job like that. And for the most part, is just weather the storm. It's raining. Yes, it's raining. The rainy day is here. And we don't know if it's going, and you don't know. And I say we because I'm supporting you. And sometimes you'll hear me say we, because I want to be here for you. Email me if you need to talk, somebody to talk to. I'm here. But you know, it's just the rainy season. And when you don't know if it's going to rain one day, 2 days, a week, a couple of months, a year, in my case, 2 years, you don't know how long the rain is going to last. But what you do when it's a storm, when a storm comes, just like this one behind me, you hunker in. You get in your safe place and you hunker in. Your safe place right now with your situation that you're going, it's in your spirit. It's in your spirit. And you're going to hunker in there. Because your spirit is going to be what encourages you, that pushes you, that edifies you to be able to do the things that you need to do to get through this. This video, I'll just talk about this video right here, or it might be over here. Wherever I put it at, well, here or here, it's here. This video talks about how to handle some of that and how to deal with that and going through those types of things. But in the long run, it's just a season of hardship, and you're going to get through it. Just hang in there. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. You're going to come out all right. You're going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. Don't let the devil or negative people or any of that convince you that it's the end of the world. And if you apply for a job and they don't call you back, or if you apply for a job and they tell you didn't get it, that's a failure. But you know what failure means to me? All failure means to me, and all failure should mean to you, is just a chance to do it again. That's what failure means to me. Not what Webster the dictionary say failure means. Failure means to you, it's just a chance for you to do it again. That's the gambler's definition of failure. So do it again. Apply for another job. Whatever it takes. But just hang in there. You're going to be okay. And I love you. And you're going to be okay. The snow is coming in. Coming in. Oh my goodness. So you guys know the routine. If you got value from this video, if you did not get value from this video, I need you to like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment. I really would appreciate it. And also, there's a new email list down in the description. I'd like for you, if you would, please sign up for that email list. Join that email list. There's going to be a lot of good information in those email newsletters that's not going to be in the videos. And I want you guys to have access to that as well. So sign up for those. Sign up and join my newsletter. I would appreciate that as well. It's in the description below. So I would say, be blessed, stand strong, and I love you. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to see y'all on the other side of another video.